Well, howdy there, Internet students. It's Mr. Hermanson again. Say if you're watching this video, then you didn't do so well on Objective 4.1b. So I'm just going to review some of the things that should help you with that, and so you can do the retake. All right, on this first problem, we need to just simplify this expression. So remember that this is c multiplied by itself 10 times. So there's 10 factors of c. So think about what that looks like in expanded form. I don't really care to write it out. But then you have c to the negative 1, which is really dividing by c. You're taking one of those 10 away from that. Now the 4 and the 3, you can just rearrange those. Since multiplication is commutative and associative, we can do it in this order. And essentially, you just have to add the powers when you have the same base. So I'm going to add the 10 and the negative 1, and that's going to make it 9. And I'm going to multiply the 4 and the 3, which is the 12c to the 9th power. All right, on the second problem here, what do you do when you have a power to a power? Okay, now don't ever be afraid to expand it out. So this second power right here is telling you to multiply that expression times itself, right? So, and then you have to think about, I have 7, m multiplied by itself 7 times there, and then 7 more times, which is 14. So what we can generalize from this is that really you need to multiply those powers together to get the new power. All right, so so think about this. It would be x to what power if we were using that idea? And I hope you're thinking 20th power, because you want to multiply those powers together. Where in the last problem, when it wasn't in parentheses like that, we added the powers. Okay? Now, what about when you're dividing? To help you understand this, I'm going to go ahead. It's not such a big problem to write in expanded form. So I'm going to write n multiplied by itself 6 times. And then on the bottom, I'm going to multiply n times n, because that's n to the second power, right? Okay, well, this divided by this is just 1, so those cancel, and you'll notice that I'm taking away 2 of them. I'm left with 4 of them. So my answer is n to the 4th. Now, what are we doing to get that 4? You might notice that you would just subtract the 6 minus the 2. So if you're doing this first one here, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, then you would do 14 minus 4, because you're going to cancel away 4 of those factors of x, and you're going to be left with 10 of them. Okay? All right, on the fourth problem that you'll have to be able to do when you do the retake test, what do you do when you have a fraction and you raise it to a power? I'm going to recommend this. Basically, that power you're going to see on every factor within that fraction, but to help you understand that, let's go ahead and write it in expanded form. So I need this multiplied by itself 4 times, and I think when you do that, you won't make any mistakes. Okay, so now you can see on the bottom you're going to have 2 multiplied by itself 4 times, or 2 to the 4th power, which is 16. And then on the top you're going to have 3 multiplied by itself 4 times. 3 to the 4th is 81. And you're also going to have 4 factors of x. See them? X times x times x times x. So that would be x to the 4th. So notice this power actually worked on every part of that fraction, the 3, the 2, and the x. All right, so why don't you go ahead and do a few of those. I'll give you this first one just to make sure you're getting it right. But again, don't be afraid to write it out in expanded form. But basically what I would be thinking, it should be a 7, is that I need to do this 2 right here to the 4th power, which is 16. I need to do the x to the 4th power, and I also need to do the bottom number, the 7 to the 4th power, which I think is 2,401. You can check my math on that. But anyway, so that should be how you do those. All right, well, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully that helps you, and you'll be able to retake that and make sure you've learned it. Talk to you soon.